What is going on, my Patriots? How y'all guys doing? I am back in the building with another episode of Crime News for this week, where I bring to you guys the latest and craziest crime stories that has gone on across the US and sometimes international. Now, if it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, go ahead on and do me a favor. Hit that like button. Go ahead on, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell up top so everybody will know that you are supporting the channel. Uh, Shout out to everyone who have miraculously found my channel because my main channel, Joel Davis Media Network, because everybody found out that I did an interview with John Earl Sullivan. Now, if you don't know who John Earl Sullivan is, I am about to bring you the news story about this guy on our newest episode of Crime News, and you will understand from there. And before I get started, go ahead on share this broadcast. Please share this broadcast. The more people we can get in, the more people we can have to support the channel. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead on and jump right into this, so you guys don't have to wait any further. So on this week's crime news, activist John Earl Sullivan, that's right, liberal activist from Utah, John Earl Sullivan was arrested during the police protest in Utah, charged in Capitol riots. Now, this Utah man who was arrested in connection to a police brutality protest in Provo in Utah has now been jailed for his role in the Capitol riots. According to his arrest affidavit, John Earl, and if you don't know who this guy is, before I get further into this, let me show you a pic of this guy here. No problem. People gonna be like, who in the world is John Earl? One second here. And I'm about to show you this guy. So that way y'all get an idea who I'm talking about and who he is. So that way when you see this, you'll be like, all right, now I know who this guy is. Now I know what Joe was talking about. Because you know me, I try to give y'all the proof of what it is. Now I hope everybody have had a good weekend so far. Uh, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna take the time to promote myself. If you know, if you need your taxes done in the U.S. of A., you can come and contact me. I do all 50 states. I know a lot of people are locked down still because of this crazy pandemic. So just don't have no fear. Your boy is here. Go ahead on and holler at your boy, and I'll make sure of it. I'll get you in the game. So let's see here. So y'all can see who this cat is. I don't, when I do these, I like for y'all to understand who it is, so y'all know. Okay, that's that cat. So you won't be like, oh, that's somebody else. I don't know who that is. So, all right. So if you see beside me, that is the gentleman we're talking about right here, John Sullivan. Now, since you see the picture right here to the crime, so getting back to this young man, the Utah resident He's also the founder of Insurgents USA. Now, he self-described as being a coalition to unite all people under one banner to fight for liberation and freedom for all people. Now, when I did the interview, he tried to portray somewhat that, you know, he was kind of in the middle. But as time has went on and me following this guy after the interview, it was very quite clear he was not in the middle. This guy is a radical lefty. And I say radical, he's radical. All right. Now, the organization website adds how we hope to achieve this by taking a stance against acts of inhumane violence, discrimination of any form, and political corruption. We are the revolution. Let's show the power of the people united. Now, the affidavit state that this 26-year-old organized this protest and was charged in the Provo protest with rioting and criminal mischief. The FBI agent who interviewed Sullivan says the video posted by Sullivan during a DC protest showed him telling the crowd, "We get to go, we got to rip Trump out of office, fucking pull him out of that shit. We ain't waiting until the next election. It's time for a revolution." Now, Sullivan told investigators he attended last week's protest at the Capitol as an activist and journalist who films protests and riots, although he admitted he did not have press credentials. Donning a gas mask and ballistic vest, Sullivan told investigators he was there to film the events, capturing the shooting of a woman in the Capitol by the Capitol Police on video. Now, before I go any further with that, this same crazy behind dude was also running up the views on all platforms all day long. I mean, for 2 straight days, I seen this cat because I also follow him because he had did an interview with me, and on all his platforms, he ran it up. I mean, when I say he ran it up, this cat was recording that riot, was broad streaming that riot till he got up to about 2 or 3 thousand views. So that's a little bit to me sound like clout chasers versus you up here trying to, what I'm saying, unite the people. But I digress. That's just my opinion. Now, get back to the story. However, Sullivan also captured himself on video, which he provided to the FBI, making statements indicating support of rioters. According to the affidavit, after breaking through barricades outside of the Capitol building, he can be heard saying, "We accomplished this shit. We did this together. Fuck yeah. We are part of this history, and let's burn this shit down." See, that's where you get too cocky. See, the cat also had that streaming too on his platform. I think if you go to some of his platform of the riot, you can see him inside talking. So I guess he must have didn't understand that the FBI is going to investigate everything that you do. When you are part of something like this, any material you put out on any of your channels, they looking, bro. They ain't playing no games. They're not sitting down here like, "Oh, all right, that's cool. Okay, no worries." Nah, they ain't doing that. They checking for you, bro. And when I'm saying they checking hard as hell. So this dude was an absolute idiot on that part. Now, Sullivan also entered the building through a broken window, allegedly stating inside, "We gotta get this shit burnt and it's out and it's our house, motherfucker." Now, the affidavit states that Sullivan claimed to have a knife in the video, which he claimed was not true, and probably broke a window in the Capitol building once inside. Sullivan is also recorded urging Capitol Police to stand down to avoid injury, stating, among other things, "You are putting yourself in harm's way. The people have spoken. When there are too many people, you got to stand down. The people out there that try to do that shit, they got hurt. I saw it. I'm caring about you." An arrest warrant was ultimately issued by Sullivan, accusing him of civil disorder, entering a restricted building or grounds, and violent entry or disorderly conduct. Now, I don't know what's going to all happen with this cat, but I'm quite sure that they're going to make an example out of him because, A, he is one of the people that is we having an issue with right now in America. We having issues with these radical liberals. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people are taking it to a whole new level. This was uncalled for. This caused the death of a young lady. This caused medical emergencies for other people. This was a nightmare now that has become a stain in the American staple. And they're going to make somebody an example. And I would not be surprised if he's one of them because he's the guy who's been tagged on a lot of riot stuff. And now he crossed the line. Now you became the riot of something that has caused a lot of Americans and lawmakers to feel very uneasy. So I'm looking like they're gonna make an example out of this cat, man. If they don't, it'll shock me. But they're gonna make an example out of it. Real talk, they are. So enough of that. We're gonna go and move right along to the next news story that is real crazy. Go ahead on and get this cat off my screen. I done talked about him enough. Next news story, we're gonna talk about a suspect was arrested after authorities uncover a chemicals to make explosive near San Francisco RV park. Now, the residents of a California RV park were forced to evacuate their homes after authorities have discovered chemicals typically used to make explosives just outside their community. Uh, Officers with the San Francisco Police Department responded to the Candlestick RV Park on Friday around 5 p.m. to provide assistance to federal agents who found explosive material on the scene. The residents, the resident of an RV was detained, and nearby residents were evacuated. The police department announced on Twitter. The San Francisco Police Department Explosive Ordnance Unit has taken over the investigation to the matter, with authorities appear to be an isolated incident. Police added that the probe was still in early stages and that additional information will be released when it becomes available. They have not released the name of this gentleman that does it. Now, you know they're going to be like this because of what happened on Christmas Day in downtown uh, Nashville, and not to mention the possible explosives that were planted around the Capitol building the day of the riots. So there's going to be a lot of people trying to copycat to get fame, and I'm telling you now, the police is going to be all over it. They're not going to stand for it. They're not going to like it or anything like that. So if I was anybody, I wouldn't be trying those stupid ideas like this right now. Because right now, our country is on edge. And it being on edge, they are very well going to make an example out of somebody. And that's just straight facts. Now, next news that is crazy. Now, this is coming out of Hawaii here. Now, I don't know the story about this one right here. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can find the picture for this one because this one is a little. This one's got me by surprise. Let's see here. I'll see if I can find this. Now, this is all freestyle here, guys. I try to be authentic when I do these newscasts. I don't like to be one of those guys that try to, I try to go and try to be as authentic as possible. So let's see here. All right. So this lady, which I'm about to show y'all in a minute, right here. Now this is crazy. This young lady right here, Selena Roth, uh, was found dead. Who was an army soldier? I mean, excuse me. Yeah, is an excuse me. She was a military spouse. But anyway, an army soldier has been arrested in connection with the murder of a veteran and military spouse who was found dead. Now, this girl named Selena Roth is the spouse, and she's a military veteran at the Schofield Barracks in Oahu in Hawaii. I might have messed that up. The Army, in a statement issued on Thursday, identified the victim as 25-year-old Selena Roth. Her body was discovered around 8 a.m. Wednesday by military police conducting a welfare check requested by a family member. An identified source told the Hawaii News Now that she was dumped in a trash receptacle. Damn, who does that, man? Special agents from the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command on Wednesday evening arrested a suspect, also a soldier, in connection with the slaying. On behalf of the Army community in Hawaii, I extend our deepest condolences to Selena's loved ones. We are committed to the pursuit of justice, and those responsible will be held accountable, said Major General James Gerard, the commanding general of the 25th Infantry Division in U.S. Army Hawaii. I know many of us are still in shock. Our priority is to continue to support the investigation and ensure Selena's family and our Army community receive the needed support and resources during this difficult time. They haven't released the suspect name, and his relationship with the victim is kind of unclear. Still an ongoing homicide investigation. Now, I'm not going to speculate. Again, rest in peace to uh, Miss Selena Roth. But even when I was in the military, guys, even when I used to go away and be deployed, you have to be careful who you let in your circle. You have to be careful because I'm telling you, people will come into your circle. You will think they're one thing and they're another. And you be in the military, you are a target. Even when you a spouse, especially a spouse, you are a target because people think that it's sweet, think that you are easy, and before you know it, all it takes is, especially you being a spouse, you may be hanging out with somebody who may have the hots for you or want you, and you reject them. It's a wrap. They ain't trying to hear it, or God forbid you go and do an affair and step out with your loved one, and you want to end it because you morally know that it's wrong and you're trying to do the right thing. Hey, man, before you know it, you can die because somebody took it personal. So I'm telling you guys, please be careful. Just be careful. If you're military spouse, especially be careful. Thank you. You always give me love. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Definitely. And also share my broadcast. I don't want to mess up your name, but yeah, share my broadcast. Please. I like the fact that you always give me love. I appreciate you. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's the small things. Sharing my broadcast, showing your boy love. I appreciate that. I really do. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Any other news? Wasn't that too much of stuff too much today? Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that donation. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Sunday. I appreciate that. I really do, Sunday. I like that. Thank you. For real. I appreciate you. Damn, man, that's good, man. It feels good to get love from people that see that you consistent. You're trying to build a brand. That feels good. I really do. Now, let's see what else we got. I see. Yeah, I see that. Like Sunday, Monday. I got you. I got you, Monday. I got you. I got you. Sunday. Like Sunday. I'm just gonna call you Sunday because I appreciate the love. All right, let's see what else we got. So now we're gonna talk about one more. Well, that's about it. I'm not gonna really talk about anything. Well, yeah, I got one more other story. Now, this is coming out of this is coming out of Orlando, Florida. Give me a second here, and I will tell y'all what this story is. This is a heartbreaking story. When I talk about this story, it makes me sad to even report it. But it's part of what we do as journalists, right? We gotta talk about the news even when we don't want to talk about it. So this one is pretty sad. I mean, because it just goes to show you. I don't have a picture for this one, so I'm just gonna just show myself on this and call it a day. Uh, this is out of Orlando. A child dies alone in the crib while the dad worked because he needed money for rent, police say. Now, this is a 21-year-old father. He couldn't find a sitter. So he couldn't find a sitter. He couldn't call out for work because he needed to pay rent because times are hard because of the corona, because of what's going on with the coronavirus. So he did what anybody else, I guess, in desperate times would have done. He decided to gamble and take a chance, and he left his toddler in the crib for 10 hours. And when he came back, she was no longer here. Sad story, but I got to go into it and talk about the events that happened. An Orlando man faces a child neglect charge. The police say he left his daughter alone in the crib for roughly 10 hours while he went to work and came home to find her dead. Wilner Belazar, 21, was arrested on December 22nd. He posted bond on January the 4th. Police said he called 911 on the day he was arrested, reporting that he found his daughter dead in her porter crib. The child age was not released on the report. Now, Belazer told police he got called into work around 4 p.m. and left the girl alone in her crib, according to investigators. As the suspect was leaving for work, he knew it was wrong to leave the descendant unattended for such a long period, but he felt pressure to work because, get this, impending rent being due. Now, according to the arrest report, the father attempted to get a babysitter for his daughter, but could not find one in time for his shift, and ultimately made the decision to leave the girl in her crib unattended, he told investigators. Yeah, this is sad. Like, I'm quite sure this was researched before they wrote it. That imagine you're calling somebody to watch your baby, and everybody just keep telling you no, and that's why a lot of times I try to help people, especially me and my wife. There's been times of our immediate friends that they need somebody to watch their children. We just go ahead on and do it because you don't know that person's situation. And this is a perfect example right here, right now. This man, this sad man. When Belazar came home around 11 p.m., his daughter was stiff and cold to the touch on her stomach, according to the report. Belazar now faces a charge of neglect of child causing harm or disability. Now, I'm quite sure this is a felony charge, and even let's say, for instance, he get a slap on the wrist, it's gonna be hard for him to be around children because of that charge. And it's sad, man. Trying to take care of your children, and this what happened. All right, guys, this is all I got for y'all tonight on the crime news. I am about to be back on in a few moments. We are going to do the crime story documentary of Nikki Barnes. I repeat, Nikki Barnes. I'm going to break down how this man got his start and how we arrived to him being the icon he is now. If you can, stay around, stay tuned to get a history lesson on this. If you can't, it's okay. But in the meantime, do me a favor. Go ahead on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button at the top. Go ahead and share my broadcast with everybody. I mean, everybody. Share the broadcast, man. So that way I can keep myself in the loop. All right. I appreciate everything that y'all guys do for your boy. We love and appreciate you. Until then, take care of yourself and each other. I'm out.